You eat chocolate several times a week, maybe thinking it's a fairly harmless pleasure. And what you're about to discover in the next few minutes could genuinely change the way you look at those chocolate bars for good. Because independent analyses carried out by European laboratories have revealed that more than 60% of the chocolate bars sold in supermarkets contain concerning levels of heavy metals, cheap oils, and hidden sugars in quantities that are really quite surprising. We went through every report, every laboratory test, every investigation published by consumer protection organizations to identify the chocolates you should genuinely avoid and the ones that actually deserve your money. And by the end, I'll show you how to spot a quality chocolate in just a few seconds, simply by reading the label. Let's start with the most problematic brands. First case, Nestlé Extra Fino Milk Chocolate. Nestlé is one of the global giants that dominates supermarket shelves all over the world. Its Extra Fino Milk Chocolate bar is marketed as a smooth and creamy chocolate, but consumer defense organizations that tested it gave it a below-average quality rating. The main issue, and it's a significant one, is the composition. Extra Fino contains only 30% cacao. Everything else is sugar, powdered milk, and vegetable fats. Now, when you read cocoa butter on the label, you naturally expect pure cacao. But here's the thing, Nestlé adds refined palm oil to bring costs down. That oil is solid at room temperature, and it creates an artificially creamy texture that you might easily confuse with genuine quality. But it's high in saturated fats that raise the so-called bad cholesterol. The analyses also found that this bar contains 42 grams of sugar per 100 grams of product, which means the hidden ingredients make up almost half of what you're actually eating. For anyone monitoring their blood sugar levels, that's really a serious concern. And to mask the lack of real cacao, Nestlé uses soy lecithin and artificial flavorings. Cadmium was also detected, a heavy metal that accumulates in the kidneys with chronic exposure. It stays within current European legal limits, but that presence is still worth noting for anyone eating this regularly. Nestlé Extra Fino is powerful marketing, massive distribution, and minimal actual quality. Second case, Milka Alpenmilch. The purple cow is an icon across Europe, and the Alpenmilch bar is sold in countless stores as a creamy chocolate from the Alps. The reality is quite different. Milka belongs to a large multinational group that has acquired several historic brands over the years, sometimes significantly altering their original recipes in the process. Alpenmilch contains only 30% cacao, exactly the same level as Nestlé Extra Fino. Everything else is sugar and milk. Journalistic investigations have shown that this group's cacao supply chain has documented ethical concerns, with only a small fraction of the cacao actually certified as sustainably sourced. On the product side, tasters found a waxy texture and a flat, uninspiring flavor. Milka uses synthetic vanillin, not real vanilla, and that distinction matters more than it might seem. Vanillin is a chemical compound that mimics the aroma without any of the complexity of genuine vanilla. Analyses revealed 40 grams of sugar per 100 grams and traces of vegetable fats that aren't explicitly declared, which is legally permitted below a certain threshold, but it really does amount to a sleight of hand as far as the consumer is concerned. Cadmium is present at a legal level, but it accumulates in body tissue with regular consumption over several years. You're essentially paying for the brand and the nostalgia, not for the quality. And you know what? That's still not the worst of it. Third case, Lindt Excellence 70%. This one is going to surprise a lot of people. Lindt is a premium Swiss brand with an apparently spotless reputation. But tests conducted by Consumer Reports found cadmium levels at double the recommended safety threshold, along with traces of lead, and that combination is genuinely concerning. Lindt does comply with current European standards, but those levels still raise real questions for anyone eating this product on a regular basis. These heavy metals come from the soils in which the cacao is grown, and their presence in a premium product at this price point raises a legitimate question about how the raw materials are being selected. Fourth case, Carrefour own brand milk chocolate bar. The Carrefour own label product, from the French chain present in many countries, positions itself on price. Tests conducted by consumer organizations found that this bar contains only 28% cacao, which is barely above the European legal minimum of 25% required to be called milk chocolate at all. The rest is 42 grams of sugar per 100 grams, plus powdered milk. Not all of the fats used are declared individually, thanks to a legal tolerance that allows vegetable oils below a certain quantity to go unspecified. Tasters found a grainy texture and a chemical aftertaste. The chocolate leaves a waxy residue in the mouth, which points to poor crystallization or the use of low-quality fats. The label simply says cacao, with no origin specified, which makes it possible to source from wherever prices are lowest, with no commitment to quality or traceability whatsoever. Fifth case, Nestlé Postres, widely used in home baking. This product combines palm oil, cocoa butter, and lecithin. That combination creates something that melts easily, but whose fat profile is really problematic, high in saturated fats and low in beneficial fatty acids. If you're using it in your cakes or biscuits, you're adding fats whose effects on the cardiovascular system have been documented over many years. The flavor is flat. Tasters describe it as sweet but characterless, which makes sense when you consider that it contains only 35% cacao, with the rest diluted into sugar and fat. Unidentified artificial flavorings complete the formula, and European law actually allows manufacturers to declare flavoring on a label without specifying which one, meaning that single word can cover dozens of different synthetic compounds. And before we go any further, I'll explain in just a moment how to avoid all of these issues using simple criteria you can apply anywhere. But first, let's talk about discount lines. Certain own-brand bars sold in discount retailers deserve particularly close attention. Independent analyses carried out in recent years detected in some of them cadmium levels exceeding European legal limits, traces of lead, and in certain cases mold spores producing mycotoxins, those natural contaminants that accumulate in the liver and are not easily eliminated by the body. Sensory tests described rancid flavors, crumbly textures, and musty odors, all signs of prolonged storage in poor conditions. The cacao used often comes from spot markets with no traceability and minimal quality controls. At a rock-bottom price, the quality-to-health ratio is genuinely unfavorable. Now that you know what to avoid, wait until you see what the market actually has to offer when it comes to genuinely good chocolate, because there are accessible options out there that completely change the picture. Let's start with Green and Black's 85%. Green and Black's is a British brand distributed across the vast majority of international markets, and its 85% bar represents an accessible option among serious dark chocolates. The ingredient list is short, the actual cacao content is high, and the organic certification guarantees more responsible growing practices. Tasters note a frank but balanced bitterness, with no unpleasant astringency. It's a reliable reference point you'll find in most major supermarkets internationally. Next, Valrhona. Valrhona is a French reference house present in more than 10 key markets, distributed in specialty retailers and fine food shops alike. Its bars are produced from selected single-origin cacaos, with full traceability and consistently low cadmium levels. The aromatic notes are complex, floral or fruity depending on the origin. The texture is clean and precise, and the flavor lingers in the mouth long after. That's the real difference between an industrial chocolate and a genuine one. And for every market where neither of these two brands is available, here's how to identify a good chocolate yourself, wherever you are in the world. First, look at the cacao percentage on the packaging. For dark chocolate, the minimum you want to see is 70%. Then check the ingredient list. It should be short: cacao paste, sugar, cocoa butter, and nothing else. No palm oil, no added lecithin, no flavorings. Look for a declared origin. Ecuador, Venezuela, Ghana, and Madagascar are quality references recognized all over the world. Check for a certification, fair trade, or organic. Look at the price. A quality dark chocolate generally costs at least €3 per 100 grams. Do the snap test. A good chocolate breaks with a clean, crisp sound. If it bends rather than snaps, the crystallization is poor. Let it melt in your mouth. A quality chocolate melts cleanly and progressively, leaving no waxy residue behind. And smell it before you eat it. A good chocolate gives off a complex aroma. Think fruit, nuts, spices, floral notes. A uniform deep brown color with a slight satin sheen is also a reliable visual indicator. And you know what? Small specialist producers very often deserve far more attention than the big names on the shelf. Here's what to take away from all of this. Nestlé Extra Fino, Milka, Lindt Excellence, Carrefour own brand, and Nestlé Postres represent the most problematic profiles, each for different reasons, whether that's heavy metals, food additives, hidden sugars, or poor quality fats. Green and Black's and Valrhona are two reliable international reference points. And if you can't find either one, the criteria I've just given you will let you make the right choice anywhere in the world. The next time you're standing in front of the chocolate aisle, take 30 seconds to read the label. Check the cacao origin. Look at the price. Don't let the packaging make the decision for you. This information is provided for informational purposes only and does not replace the advice of a health professional. For any decisions relating to your diet or your well-being, please consult a qualified doctor or nutritionist.